Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen amma ba'd a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Today you are going to learn lesson number 13, Tashdeed. Let's read the rules first. Number 1. The W-shaped sign is called Tashdeed. A letter which has a Tashdeed on it is called Mushaddad. Let me show you this sign Tashdeed in the lesson. Please open the next page. Look at the first box in line 1. You can see a sign on top of ta, a W-shaped sign on top of ta. This sign is Tashdeed. And ta has Tashdeed on it, so ta is Mushaddad. Because you just learned that any letter that has Tashdeed on it is called Mushaddad. That means when the letter Jim has Tashdeed on it, Jim is Mushaddad. When the letter Noon has Tashdeed on it, Noon is Mushaddad. When the letter Mim has Tashdeed on it, Mim is Mushaddad. When the letter Qaf has Tashdeed on it, Qaf is Mushaddad. So any letter that has Tashdeed on it is Mushaddad. Let's read the next rule now. Pronounce the Mushaddad letter twice. First by joining it with the Mutaharrik letter before, and then by its own harka with a slight pause, holding down slightly. Let me tell you and explain you with example. Look at the first box in line 1 on next page. You can see ta is Mushaddad, and before ta Mushaddad, Hamza is Mutaharrik. So you have to read ta Mushaddad 2 times. First with Hamza Mutaharrik, and second time with its own harka, because ta also has zabar on it. You can see zabar on top of Tashdeed. That means ta has Tashdeed and zabar, 2 things. So you have to read ta 2 times like this. First with Hamza Mutaharrik like this, Hamza ta zabar at, and then you will read ta with its own harka zabar, like ta zabar ta, at ta. Let me do it again. Hamza ta zabar at, ta zabar ta, at ta. You just saw that I read ta Mushaddad 2 times. First with Hamza Mutaharrik and second time with its own harka. So always read Mushaddad letter 2 times. Let's read the next rule now. Gunna should always be done whilst pronouncing Noon Mushaddad and Mim Mushaddad. Gunna means taking the sound into the nose, that is nasalization. The duration of Gunna should be equal to 1 alif. That means when you see Noon Mushaddad or Mim Mushaddad, when you see the letter Noon has Tashdeed sign on it, or the letter Mim has Tashdeed sign on it, so that is Noon Mushaddad and Mim Mushaddad, you have to read with Gunna. Gunna means taking the sound into the nose. So when you pronounce Noon Mushaddad, you have to take the sound into your nose. When you pronounce Mim Mushaddad, you have to take the sound into your nose. And the duration of Gunna is equal to 1 alif. That means you have to keep the sound into your nose up to 1 alif, up to 2 harakat. Let me show you Noon Mushaddad and Mim Mushaddad in the lesson. Please open the next page, not the next page, page number 29. Look at the first line, 4th box. You can see Mim Mushaddad in this box. So you have to read Mim Mushaddad with Gunna, like this. Amma. If you read Amma, Amma, that's not correct. That means you are not doing Gunna. You are not taking the sound into your nose. And you are not keeping the sound into the nose up to 1 alif. So do Gunna, keep the sound into the nose up to 1 alif, like that. Amma. Right? Look at the 4th box in line 3 on the same page. You can see Noon Mushaddad in this box. So you have to pronounce Noon Mushaddad with Gunna, like Anna, Anna. If you read as Anna, Anna, that's not correct, because you are not doing Gunna. You are not taking the sound into your nose. So read Anna. Keep the sound into the nose up to 2 harakat, up to 1 alif. Let's read the next rule now. When the letters of qalqala are mushaddad, pronounce them with emphasis. You know the qalqala letters you learned in lesson number 11. Qaf, ta, ba, jim, dal. So when the qalqala letters are mushaddad, when qalqala letters have tashdeed on them, you have to pronounce with emphasis, with stress. How? Let me show you with example. Please open the next page. Look at the first line, box number 4. You can see ta in this box, and you know that ta is from qalqala letters, and it is mushaddad in this box. So you have to read with emphasis like this, at-ta, at-ta, like that. You have to read with stress, with more power, with force. You have to press the makhraj when you pronounce ta. And when you read it with spelling, so read like that, hamza ta zabar at, ta zabar ta, at, with stress, with force, with emphasis. Let's read the next rule. If the first letter is mutaharrik, second sakin, and third mushaddad, then in most, not all cases, the sakin letter is not pronounced, but the mutaharrik letter is pronounced by joining it with mushaddad letter. For example, abattum will be pronounced as abattum. Let me explain the same rule with example. Please open the last page of this lesson, last page and last line. Now look at the second box in last line on page 30. You can see the word qad tabayyana. You can see the first letter is qaf, and qaf has zabar on it, so qaf is mutaharrik. First letter is mutaharrik. Second letter is dal, and dal is sakin. Dal has jazm on it, so dal is sakin. First letter mutaharrik, second letter sakin, and third letter is ta, and ta is mushaddad. It has tashdid on it, so it is mushaddad. First letter mutaharrik, second sakin, and third mushaddad. So in this case, you mostly remove the sakin letter. You do not read the sakin letter. You spell it, but you don't read it, you don't pronounce it. Like dal is sakin in this word. First mutaharrik, qaf mutaharrik, dal sakin, and ta mushaddad. So you have to remove dal in the pronunciation, means you don't have to pronounce dal, and you have to join qaf mutaharrik with ta mushaddad, like qad tabayyana. You will not say qad tabayyana, but you will say qad tabayyana. You will directly join qaf with ta, qad tabayyana, qad tabayyana. So in this kind of case, when first letter is mutaharrik, second sakin, and third mushaddad, so mostly you don't pronounce the sakin letter, you skip the sakin letter, and you join the mutaharrik letter with the mushaddad letter. This is the rule. Next rule. In addition to practicing tashdeed in this lesson, distinguish clearly between the letters that sound somewhat similar. So you have to differentiate clearly between the similar letters, similar sounding letters, the letters that sound somewhat similar, like ta and to, they are similar in sound, so you have to differentiate clearly. Pronounce ta with normal voice and to with thicker voice. Qaf and kaf, qaf with thicker voice, kaf with normal voice. Za and zal, pronounce za with whistle sound and zal without whistle sound. Sin and sod, they are similar in sound, but sod is thick because it is from Mustalia letters, so make the clear difference between sin and sod. So in this way, differentiate clearly between all qaribu sawt letters. Let me teach you line 1, and you have to read rest of the lines by yourself, because the method of pronouncing and reading the all letters or the all words is same. Let's start it. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Hamza ta zabar at, ta zabar ta, at ta. Hamza ta zir it, ta zabar ta, it ta. Hamza ta pesh ut, ta zabar ta, utta. Atta itta, utta. Hamza to zabar at, to zabar to, ad to. Hamza to zir it, to zabar to, it to. Hamza to pesh ut, to zabar to, ut to. At to, it to, ut to. So you have to read qalqala letter when it is mushaddad with emphasis, and you have to read rest of the letters that are not qalqala letters, with normal voice. Don't read with emphasis. Now you have to read rest of the lines by yourself. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ala Muhammad.